How we doing, man? You good?
Good. How are you, Jack?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I was just on Warzone.
No worries, no worries. I get it, man. You know what? Honestly, I was putting up pictures as you can see on the wall there, and because I just moved into a condo maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So, I've just been putting up things. I've been super busy, so finally getting into it now. So no big deal.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. Good.
But yeah, how you doing, man? I mean, like, how are things? I mean, congrats on your win, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, really good. Just like chilling out now, having a little bit of downtime, and then back in camp on Monday.
That's awesome. So have you been eating a lot or what's the deal?
Oh yeah, I've been eating a lot, like yeah. But yeah, just gonna enjoy food like this full week, and then back into a camp and back on a bit of a health kick.
There you go. Well, I mean, I will get into the with your future, obviously, with the title. But I mean, like, so for you, like when you like just after your fights, you typically are gonna eat kind of whatever you want. Do you kind of feel a bit of like, do you feel like kind of catches up with you when you go back to training?
A little bit, yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes when I overindulge and I go back, I do feel a little bit heavy, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's a strange feeling, but you definitely notice, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and I know I get that, man. I mean, like you get that kind of gorge of just eating whatever, and then you get back and you're just sweating bullets, and
yeah. It's good though. It's worth it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, just kind of jumping right to it with your fight with Lanez, I think you say his name. Um, I guess he had some pretty. The commentator said he had some good ground game. I don't know much of him. But was that something that you kind of planned on? Was the submission something you envisioned?
Yeah, definitely. Like me and my camp all knew that I'd submit him. Eric De Silva, like one of my main coaches for grappling
Hmm.
currently. Um, yeah, he was just like take him down, just submit him, and that was always the game plan. But we just needed him to commit more. Like I felt like the first round, he spent a lot of time running away. Like I felt like every time I threw a shot, he kind of just like dipped his head like too much. His feet were wrong, and he just kind of like found a way to like scurry off, and then it was me having to cut him off all the time, pressuring. It was a little bit frustrating, but I also felt like he couldn't set his feet either because sometimes, like when he did that, I felt like his feet were wrong, and it kind of cost him a little bit of power because, um, I know people that have fought him before, and he looked like he hit a lot harder with those people. But with me, I felt like because he was on the back foot, he was maybe I don't know, just like he, the pressure was just getting to him. I don't know. He said it was his game plan to circle on the fence, but personally, like, I mean, I wouldn't want that game plan really. I quite like takedowns off the fence. I mean, I did get him down anyway off the fence. So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an awkward fight. He's like, I think he's got a bit of a bizarre style of fighting.
Well, and you talk about how you thought he had some power stuck in. Well, you appear to be fine. I mean, it doesn't look like you've been touched.
Yeah, actually, weirdly enough, I just got like a little black eye.
Okay, I can't really see it, but yeah.
Yeah, when I was pressuring him against the cage, that's where like that sort of stuff took place. Instead of defending and getting off the cage and looking to land thingy like you know big strikes, um, he just kind of like kept tapping, knocking. He was actually hitting with like the thumb area and the knuckles hanging out the glove. And he was just kind of like knocking, and then I shot him for a takedown, and he kept sort of attacking, and I like dove my head underneath him, and then he just kept hitting from there really. So I lifted him and just took him down. But that's how he popped my nose as well. He made my nose bleed. But other than that, I felt fine. Like no problem. It was just irritating rather than damaging. You know.
That's awesome. Is it kind of do you ever look forward to, I mean, I guess any fighter would, but is it kind of a relieving thing if you're not damaged in a fight because that kind of opens up the door for close or like short notice fights after?
Yeah, definitely. So like to be honest with you, I'd have liked the other fight in the same night. I had a little bit of a black eye, but nothing major.
Hmm.
And other than that, like I felt in great condition. I think I could have done the other fight in the same night, if I'm honest. I'll be back in the gym starting my camp on Monday. So it's always relieving to come away with no damage really. Just a couple of bruises, but no damage.
No, right. And I guess this puts you in the final tournament. I mean, for the welterweight title. What's your feelings? What's the thought process going through that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Like, I feel like a lot of people are scared of Ian Garry, but I'm not, and I think I'm a different ball game for him. I believe these guys are intimidated before they even get in there, and again, like I'm not. I am like that fighter that's tasted all sides of the sport. Nothing's new to me, and I'm going to go in there fearless as always. And the only thing that matters is as long as I believe in myself, I don't care about the others. Like everyone has Ian, in their mind, and rightfully so. He's done a fantastic job, but I was 6-0 too. You know what I mean? And if I could look back on the old me, the 6-0 me, I'd be just looking at him and going, "Yeah, you're brand new." You know what I mean? Like he's green, but you got to be careful because those green guys are dangerous and they're fearless. So, but at the same time, I'm not so green, and I'm experienced, and I believe that can win me the fight, and will win me the fight.
Right. And I guess let's just talk about Ian Garry. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, I think you talk about experience, and I think that's important because if you look at his record, I just looked him up yesterday, preparing for this interview, and I look at him. I mean, you look at almost every fight that he's won, or all the fights that he's won, almost all of them have been, if not all of them, are all finishes. I mean, submissions, like TKOs. I mean, this guy can finish a fight anywhere. So that being said, that doesn't, like you said, doesn't appear to bother you. Do you feel like that the experience is something that is what doesn't make you afraid of him?
Yeah, so like for me, if you look at my early door record, I stopped everybody. Still to this day, my wins, I've only been the distance a couple of times, 15 stoppages or something like that. I don't really keep track. It doesn't bother me anymore. I know that I can finish any fight anywhere. I don't have to just rely on one area either. I can submit you or I can knock you out. And we're yet to see his ground game, and also in the process and in his confidence. Like nobody's seen him get it put on him. Like it's not a nice feeling when you think you're unstoppable and somebody starts to chip away at you. And I've experienced that myself, and I've become a stronger person from it. And I'm just happy to go. Like I dream of fighting people like him. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think every fighter has to have someone that kind of changes their career, whether it's for the good or bad. I think every fighter has to kind of have an opponent that helps them experience, or I guess helps them reach to that level, I think. And I, like you said for yourself, I mean, you've been in that situation where it's helped you improve yourself as a fighter. I mean, you wouldn't be who you are today without having that loss to so and so, or having that tough fight against so and so.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is, like I say, I think a lot of them are intimidated before they even get in there. And if you look at these guys who he's beat, like they're not me either. You know what I mean? Like the early doors fighters. I mean, the guy who was in the UFC, I think he had 6 wins or something like that. Not the biggest of records. Like I'm like a UFC fighter, but outside of the UFC. Like my record could sit on any stage in the world. I've fought a lot of good people. I fought everyone and anyone. And again, like I'm that guy that, like, my mindset going in there is everybody looks unstoppable until they get stopped. And I want to stop him. I want to be the first person to stop him. I want to take his out. And that for me is the most exciting thing in the world. Like I love fighting. Do all those guys that fought him who was destroyed, do they all actually love fighting like the way I do? A lot of people would have quit, through some of my adversities. but I didn't. You know what I mean? I'm different to those guys.
Yeah, and I think the idea, and if you want to agree with me, do you think do you think it's acceptable to say if you don't think you can win, you shouldn't be fighting?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even be in the tournament. I wouldn't have even have entered it. I didn't even have to enter it. I was planning on fighting at lightweight. The tournament got offered. I knew Ian Garry was the other side of the bracket. I knew Madders Flemingers was going to be the first fight. Madders is from the same town as me. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about, oh, Madders can beat you. And in my mind, I've always said, no, he can't. So, like, straight away, I've told everyone who's close to me before I fought Madders that I would take him down and submit him. I just needed more commitment from him. And then when he committed in the second round, he got taken down. And he was just, it was levels difference, you know? If there was more time in the first round, if I'd have just took him down a little bit earlier, he'd have been submitted earlier, you know? And then with Ian Garry, like, I'm just excited. Like I say, I wouldn't even be in this if I didn't believe I was going to win.
And that's just it. You know, if you know, my dad always has this conversation with me. He says we watch the fights, we watch a bunch of different fights, what organization they are, and he always has this conversation with me. He's like, "Well, if you don't think you're gonna win, why are you fighting? Why are you competing?
Exactly.
You know, you have to believe in yourself. I mean, you can't go in a fight thinking that you're gonna lose." You know, I think you could have the mentality that you know it's gonna be a tough fight. You can never overlook your opponent. But again, if you don't think you're gonna win, you probably you probably shouldn't be fighting.
If you don't think you're gonna win, you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, and my training's never been so good. I wish I found this place earlier. I've always had good gyms. I've always had good advice, but I just feel like this is the one that clicks for me. Like, finally, I found the shoe that fits. I love where I am. I mean, Madders thought I was just at a striking gym in one of his recent interviews. But it's far from just a striking gym. We just happen to have some of the highest level striking in the world inside our gym. So that's perfect for me because my strong point is grappling. But every morning we're wrestling, we're grappling. I've never wrestled so much in my life. So, you know, this is a different version of me that's going to be coming into this next fight.
That's awesome. And I mean, fighting at welterweight, I mean, what is it like to only have to cut to welterweight, or are you cutting weight?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So I'm not cutting nearly as much weight. I was actually walking around pretty much on 77 for the fight. So I actually weirdly missed weight. It was like just an error because I had such a little cut to do. I just started it a little bit later than usual and whatnot, but I won't do that again. I'll make sure I'm on it first time. It was literally like I missed weight. I had to run upstairs and have like a normal bath and it just came off. It was like, it wasn't torture at all. Do you know what I mean? It was easy. And yeah, I'd definitely visit lightweight still. I feel like that's my category, but who knows? Might be growing into a welterweight now and we'll see. We'll see.
No, if you decide to go and stay at welterweight, depending on what's going on, what happens, would you be open to like adding on more muscle and then being able to still cut more weight? Like, what's your thought process?
Yeah, I'd absolutely look to add a little bit more muscle on. Weirdly, I'm actually I think what people underestimate, with Madders, he said he would be stronger than me. I certainly didn't feel that in the fight. I felt like I was able to pin him at the fence and keep him on the fence. And then when I got like ground control and stuff, I realized that I am as strong as these guys. You know, I don't know how strong Ian is until obviously, until we meet. But, that's 2 stern tests. And after that, I'll evaluate it and see if I need to put on more muscle or whatever, or whether I'm just healthier coming in lighter.
Okay. And I guess winning the welterweight title, what happens after?
Well, I'd like to drop down and beat Aggie again because I believe I won that fight. I believe I won it 3 rounds and he won the last 2 or scraped 2 or whatever, right? Because they were close rounds too. Also, I believe he lost his last fight. He's the only guy I've ever seen with a world title that I believe I've won a world title. and many really talented fighters agree with me. So I don't know. I don't know how he manages it. Maybe the judges just like to see those last rounds. But if you score it round by round, I believe Donovan Desmay is a world champion. And congratulations to him, even though he hasn't got the belt. I thought on short notice, yeah, hats off to you, dude. You're a fucking beast. So I just short notice fight.
Awesome. So, you talk about you want to like, go back down to that lightweight title. And I mean, cementing yourself as a double champ, do you think you could get the same roadmap as Mason Jones? That kind of entries, what would you be looking at?
Yeah, if you get 2 belts, you're in the UFC. To be fair, I believe if I got 1 belt, I'd be in the UFC because I'm UFC standard right now. Like I know those guys
Absolutely.
watch me. I'm a gatekeeper a little bit, I guess. Yeah, like my people like exciting fights, and I definitely bring exciting fights. I finish fights. Yeah, more than going the distance, I'm finishing fights. So
Well, and I mean, if you look at your record too, I mean, you're not, this isn't your first rodeo. You're not looking to get on the contender series. This is, you're UFC bound ready. You're just not, again, like you quoting, you're not in the UFC. You're in the UFC, but you're not, right?
yeah, definitely. It's like I'm just dipping my foot in the water, you know.
It's like, hey
But
guys, come on over, sign me
but
here.
yeah, for me, like I just need my break, and my break might be a little bit later than some people, but
Hmm.
everyone's on their own journey. Like I'm not racing no one. Like I'm not looking at anyone. I'm not racing anyone. I'm on my own journey, my own path, and I will get there. And there's no quitting me. So regardless, I'll just get back on the horse and I'll keep going until I get to where I want to be.
That's awesome. Let's talk about Nick Kolcheff for a second. I mean, you call him out for the Call of Duty Warzone. Has anything happened yet, or what's the deal?
Hey, you responded, man.
You did, okay.
Yeah, my man Nick Mays. Peace of love, baby. Man, he's the coolest gamer. So yeah, hopefully I get a game with him, and I'm, even if I'm just his medic. But
um,
like my best games, my average games, I'll get like 5 kills. So it's nothing spectacular. My best games 10 plus, but yeah, like I'm sure when you're playing with him, you hardly get any kills at all.
yeah, you still know the glory, I think.
Yeah, I could imagine he'd just obviously take every kill before I can even point my gun at him.
Right on, right on. Do you think I mean, I think fighters hand-eye coordination is such a big thing, and coordination, balance, things like that. Do you think that that's something that would help you more in gaming? I don't know. I find gaming there is a lot of skill to it. I think there's a lot of hand-eye. Like you
Oh,
have to under.
absolutely. These guys are so skillful. Like when I watch the way these players play, like I'm always watching Nick Mace on YouTube. So
Mhm.
it's I find it fascinating. Like this strategy, everything. Like, oh man, I'm super geeky me. But yeah, this is to me, it's amazing. Like the way they play the map. I just think, wow, I want to jump on some games with you.
Well, you got like other fighters. There's a lot of fighters that have been doing a lot of these streaming things like that. I think it's a really good
Yeah,
tool to
Mighty
kind
Mouse.
of. I think it's a very good tool to kind of break yourself from training, taking your mind off things because, of course,
Yeah.
you're always going to be a fighter, but you got to be able to have that mental break. Do you think that's something that you'd be able to do with someone like Max Holloway? I mean, he's always
Oh
streaming, he's
yeah,
always
that'd
doing
be
stuff.
amazing. Like, yeah, Max Holloway, Mighty Mouse. I'm here, man. I'll jump on games with you. But yeah, Nick Mays, if he wants to jump on a game with me, you teach me to game, I'll teach you jiu-jitsu. How
Yeah,
about
come on,
that?
Nick. Come on, let's
So yeah, we could trade skills here.
yeah, come on, Nick. Show Jack the ropes. Come on.
But he has responded, so that's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for. I'm hoping he inboxes me, and then obviously I'll send him my tag because I get so many people asking for my tag, but I usually just like like Nick, I guess. Just you like to play with your friends, don't you? So it's just yeah. But that'd be cool.
That's
We'll see.
awesome. That's awesome. And I guess so kind of going back to the fighting aspect, um, anywhere like you would like to have the welterweight title at? Like what is Cage Warriors doing right now? Are they having just one location, or are they doing separate locations?
Well, yeah. So currently, oh, I don't. Did that go off then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
Well,
went off for 1
currently,
second.
yeah, it was just my battery. But yeah. So currently, they've been doing it in London, York Hall. That's a phenomenal place. Really enjoy fighting there. I like it. But also, they did do one in, I think it was Manchester. I think Cage Warriors, if I'm honest, they're such a big stage, got such good contacts. They can go anywhere, I believe. But yeah, they're all UK based for now.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that we'll start to see the fan base come back, or excuse me, do you think we're going to see the fans in the stands soon? I mean, that's kind of seems to be the direction that the MMA world is starting to come back in.
Yeah, next show, June, I believe there will be fans.
Wow.
So yeah, fingers crossed. Like, yeah, I love fans being there. It's a phenomenal experience. They give you energy. So yeah, I'm hoping to have them back.
Yeah, and that's great because I mean, like I said, the rest of the MMA world, they're definitely going in that direction. But what's really crazy is like only a few months ago, I mean, I think the UK, they all went, I mean, at least England went back into like another wave of lockdown. So I
Yeah,
mean,
these
it's
waves, man.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy times, but I'm just glad that like Cage Warriors have found a way to work around it. Keep us active. That's what I want. As long as I'm active, I'm happy.
That's awesome. I know you mentioned that, obviously UFC is, on the horizon for you. But winning getting the chance to win this welterweight title, possibly getting down to that lightweight title. Like what's your future with Cage Warriors? Like how many fights do you have on the contract?
I believe I signed. Oh well, I did. I just recently signed a 5-fight deal, so I've got a few fights left. But obviously, it's got to get out close for the UFC, and if you approach, it's on. Let's go.
So
Ready whenever.
right, like is Cage Warriors, are they pretty good with like if you're signed with them, will they let you go to different organizations?
Yeah, definitely. Like, well, for the UFC, they have a get out clause for the UFC. Well, for me anyway, and I believe for quite a few fighters, they seem to jump ship. So
Yeah.
yeah, that seems to be like a relationship between them. It must be, but yeah, either way, I've got to get out close for the UFC. So I'm here. If I'd jump ship anytime.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And lastly, I mean, 2021, I mean, things are looking up with vaccines being rolled out. Actually, before I get to the other bit of my question, have you got yours yet?
No, I'm not going to have it straight away or unless it affects me travel. I think this vaccine thing currently is really uncertain, and I don't like putting anything in my body like that. So for me personally, until there's a vaccine that actually will handle all types and strains of COVID, then that's pointless. I'm fit, I'm healthy, I feel strong, and I'm personally as an individual willing to take the risk. Uh, you know, but if they bring a vaccine out that's going to cover all strains, I'd have it in an heartbeat.
That's awesome. And the other part of my question was, so with 2021 opening up, with vaccines rolling out, things, fans are coming back to the stands as you mentioned. Like how many fights would you like in 2021? What is your ideal?
Oh man, I'd love 5.
5. That's a good number.
that'd be a dream. 5 fights. Oh, more active the better.
Well,
I'm
I
in a
mean,
good place. I'm in a good gym. Keep me active. I want to
well,
represent my gym, 4 corners.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, like, because obviously, you have a chance to win at the welterweight title. I mean, I would assume you probably would like to possibly defend it as well. So there is possibility you staying at welterweight, not as much time to cut weight. So is that kind of a factor being able to have like 5 fights?
To be fair, if I'm hovering around close to the weight like I do currently at 77, yeah, I'm ready to drop down to lightweight from there. I could cut from there, definitely. As long as I just stay on it. If I ever fight at 77 and then stay in the gym, I'd make that weight so easy.
That's awesome. And like, how long, like when you're cutting to lightweight, how long is the process for that weight cut?
Usually, like I've done it in like 4 weeks before. I've gone from so when I had my title fight, I came in too big, too unfit. Started a new gym, and I was like 88 kilo, and I dropped all the way down to 70 in like 4 to 5 weeks. So I can get the weight off. I'm dedicated, I'm committed, and I'll do what I need to do. And like you give me a plan, I'll stick to it, and I'll get there.
That's awesome, Jack. Well, again, man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You're an awesome guest. You're always a great guy to chat with. And I think like there's very the horizon's very big for you, man. I mean, I think that I think you have a lot of good things going for you. I know I saw you're on Mike Owens thing. I forget what his name is. Mike Owens thing. I saw you did a picture with him. I was like, oh my god, no, that's Jack Grant. So I was like, I got to get this guy back on. So,
oh, that's cool. I really appreciate your time, man. And yeah, I make the weight easy, whether it's 77 or 70. I'm the skinny power man.
That's awesome.
So I can do it.
Well, again, I guess I should add this in. So, do you have a date of when your fight's gonna happen?
No dates yet, but I've heard June. So,
June,
but no, like nothing official that I've heard. So, we'll see. But I'll be ready. I'll be back in the gym Monday, and yeah, with John behind me and my team behind me, I can do this, and I am a world champion. So let's go.
Awesome, Jack. Well, I appreciate it again. Good luck when that fight does happen, and bring back that welterweight title, man.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate your time. Take care.